Israel's bombardment of Gaza has intensified after the military said it was expanding operations into the territory. Hamas says its fighters have confronted Israeli troops in various locations. International media and aid agencies say they lost contact with staff in Gaza amid a near-total communications blackout. The Israeli military says that the country will send aid trucks with food, water, and medicine into the Gaza Strip during the day. Israel's military spokesperson says the country's forces are still present in Gaza and the war is continuing, adding that so far there have been no casualties among the forces. "We are progressing through the stages of the war in Gaza," Daniel Hagari said. The spokesperson added that the army forces entered the areas of northern Gaza and expanded the scope of their operations. He said the joint forces participated in the operations, and this serves all the goals of the war. Tonight, the commanders of Hamas naval and air forces were eliminated in joint army and Shin Bet operations, Hagari also said. Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdulrahman bin Jassim Al Thani, Qatar's Prime Minister and Foreign Minister, has held a phone conversation with UK Foreign Secretary James Cleverly to discuss the latest in the war and ways to reduce the escalation. During the call, Sheikh Mohammed condemned the targeting of civilians and reiterated that collective punishment is unacceptable under any pretext, according to a statement. He also stressed the necessity of continuing to allow the entry of relief convoys and humanitarian aid into Gaza, as well as the importance of coordinating efforts to de-escalate the situation. Families of Israeli hostages held by Hamas fighters in Gaza demands an immediate government explanation about the fate of the captives after the army intensified strikes on the Palestinian territory. The main group, representing more than 200 people believed abducted in the October 7th attacks by Hamas, sought an immediate meeting with ministers. The Hostages and Missing Families Forum said in a statement that relatives were angry over the absolute uncertainty regarding the fate of the hostages held in Gaza, who were also subject to the heavy bombings. Tanya Haj Hassan, from Doctors Without Borders, says that for people in Gaza right now there is a deep sense of feeling alone. One of my colleagues today in Gaza said the whole world is watching us getting massacred on TV and just silently watching. Hassan, who is the co-founder of the social media account at Gaza Medic Voices, told Al Jazeera. This is also reflective of a particular type of psychological trauma of feeling completely isolated and feeling like the world is voluntarily silent to your pain and suffering, she said. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus says the UN's health agency is still unable to reach its staff and health facilities after Israel cut phone and internet services across Gaza. "I'm worried about their safety," the World Health Organization chief wrote on X. Evacuation of patients is not possible under such circumstances, nor to find safe shelter. The blackout is also making it impossible for ambulances to reach the injured. Yara Eid, a war journalist who grew up in the Al-Burj refugee camp in the middle of the Gaza Strip and is now based in London, says that the Israeli army's attacks in Gaza have a detrimental impact on children in the besieged enclave. "I genuinely think that Israel stole and stained my childhood. I was 14 years old when I saw people getting cut into pieces in front of my eyes. I was only 8 years old when I experienced terror attacks while at school. I grew up with the sounds of bombs over the sounds of birds," she told Al Jazeera. Right now we are in 2023 and this is the sixth aggression since 2008 and more than 90% of the kids are suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, she said, adding how her childhood experiences in Gaza had also resulted in her brother and friends developing PTSD. The Israeli army has released what, it says, is footage of its forces operating in the Gaza Strip. The undated video showing tanks was shared through the military's official account on X. An Al Jazeera correspondent is reporting that Israeli bombing is continuing near the hospital for kidney dialysis in the northern Gaza Strip, while Israeli artillery shelling is hitting east of Rafah in the south. The communications and internet outage throughout Gaza has continued for more than 12 hours, coinciding with the intensification of airstrikes and artillery and naval shelling on various areas, our correspondent reported. The U.S. has told its citizens that they should leave Lebanon due to the unpredictable security situation in the country. The State Department recommends that U.S. citizens in Lebanon leave now, while commercial flights remain available due to the unpredictable security situation, it said on X. There is no guarantee the U.S.